So many of my friends call me self-care queen, and I mean, I haven't always been that way. I used to not love myself. As hard as it is to say that, I used to not love myself. And it took time, work, therapy, so many things to get to the point that I'm at today. Loving myself, being happy in my own skin, and living authentically in who I am and what I am. So today, let's just get into how you too can also learn to love yourself. And it's gonna be a journey. It's a long journey, and still every day I work on loving myself even deeper. It's a lifelong journey to loving yourself. So number one, I'd say, is spending time alone. You want to get to a quiet space and really just reflect on what you're feeling. Play no music, don't have anything in the background. I know you could probably hear some birds in my background right now. Natural sounds are okay, but you want to sit in silence, as hard as it is, and feel what comes up for you. If you feel resentment, pain, disgust with yourself, whatever it might be, you want to take note of that and actually write it down. Tears may come, you may feel broken bringing all of this to the surface, but the first step is actually stating what you're actually feeling in order to know what we need to resolve within ourselves. And step two, kind of step one too, while you're sitting in this silence, you want to notice what you also do love about yourself. Maybe you love that you can just sit and reflect on your own and be in your own presence and be okay. Maybe you love that you're a dancer. Maybe you love that you're a painter, a drawer, or that you're a great professional in whatever you do. You want to, in also recognizing what you don't like that's going on in your head, you also want to recognize what is positive, those things that you can actually grow from and find strength from. So make sure you write those things down too, because they'll be important in remaining resilient throughout the whole journey of learning to love yourself. And you want to have a place that you can go back to see what there is to love about yourself. And in saying that, the negative spaces that you also feel in yourself, you want to embrace that as well. It's not that it's not to love. If you're, let's say, hateful towards yourself, embrace that. If you don't embrace it and you push it away, it's gonna be separate of you. Meanwhile, it's a piece of you. It's something that you're trying to heal. If it's outside of you, you won't be able to heal it. So let it be a part of you. And in this process, you can learn to heal it all together. And maybe you feeling hateful about yourself, that piece will transform into love. So make sure that even though you may have some negative things, that you're taking it all into consideration. And they're just puzzle pieces to yourself. And maybe one puzzle piece you don't really like, but you're gonna learn to bring it all together and love and heal that. So next, you want to work on loving and healing those spaces that don't really make you feel too good. For me, I actually went and got some books when I realized certain things about myself to learn more about myself. And so one of these books is Energetic Boundaries: How to Stay Protected and Connected in Work, Love, and Life. This book right here I got because I realized that I was too much of an emotional sponge. I still need to learn to get better with that. But this book has helped me create stronger energetic boundaries to be able to approach life in a much healthier way. And so if that's you, then this book will do wonders. I'm still actually not done because it's such a deep book that after a chapter, even a few pages, you sit down and you really just want to reflect and apply what you're learning to your life. The second book that I got was A Healing Space by Matt Licata, don't know how to say his name, but this book right here I got because it was so hard for me to let go of people when things went wrong, when relationships went south. it was hard for me to really learn how to let go. And I have another video on practicing detachment, but this book right here helped me practice detachment even deeper, even though it doesn't talk about it directly. But detachment, along with this book right here, just helped me to be able to heal those spaces within myself that I was pushing away. And yeah, if you're down for something like that, then definitely go get this book. It doesn't talk about problems as being an illness. It talks about like how it's a part of you and it's a gift. It's something that you can learn from rather than running away from. And so yeah, these two books really did help me heal those two pieces of myself. And yeah, Energetic Boundaries still isn't done yet, but I'm gonna get there because that book is fire. But some other ways that you can work on changing those things that you may not like about yourself is talking to friends, getting other books that may apply, finding a mentor, or therapy. Which brings me to the next one, because therapy all on its own, like, that's its own category. When you're healing from things that have been hurting you, you do want to talk to somebody, and if that's a therapist, it's okay. I know that we've had a movement towards mental health, and it seems like the stigma is leaving, that mental health is being destigmatized. And so I'm really happy about that, because therapy has done wonders for me. And if you're scared about talking to a stranger, just do your research on the therapist, see different reviews on them, and usually that'll give you a good indication of what they'll be like. In my experience, therapists are always so open to hearing different experiences. There's no judgment like we might get from our family or friends, and they listen with a super open heart, a very open mind, and you leave with a new perspective on life and where you can be headed. So I mean, if you're feeling very hurt and you don't know how to be happy alone, and other things that may be going on, you do want to seek the help of a therapist. It doesn't mean that you're damaged or you're crazy or any of these negative things. It's okay to go talk to a therapist. You'll be better for it, and the people around you will benefit as well. So it's a win-win. One of my last steps to truly showing that I loved myself and that I could spend time alone was taking myself out on solo dates. And this was a build-up. It started off at the movie theater, which I definitely recommend to you if you want to take yourself out on a date, because everyone's there with someone, but you're watching a movie and no one's really talking to each other throughout. So there's not that feeling of, I feel, like I'm missing out, like I'm not in a relationship or I'm lonely over here. There's no feeling like that because everyone's just watching the movie. So I started with movies, and when I realized that it's actually pretty nice to go to a movie solo, it felt really peaceful to be at the movies by myself. And the next step from there, I actually started taking myself out to like little lunches or breakfast where I sat at the place, or coffee, tea, maybe even doing some work to kind of feel like I was there, not with someone, but I was doing something, and that's why I was there alone. It gave that appearance of, okay, she's a college student at the coffee shop, or she's getting breakfast and doing some work. So that was the next step for me. And then I think it was my 24th or 25th birthday. No. I think it was my 23rd birthday. It was my 23rd birthday. I was in Pittsburgh, and I decided to go and get my nails done by myself and go and get dinner afterwards by myself, a glass of wine to celebrate my birthday, and some cake. And I then went to a park by myself, walked around, enjoyed the sunset, and that's when I realized, like, damn, this girl, she actually loves herself. She can spend a whole afternoon, evening by herself, not seek that validation or like support from anyone during that time, and just I spent that time by myself. And I won't go through the whole evolution, but the next step from that was going on solo trips. I would go to my friends' schools by myself and like meet them there. I don't think that's really a solo trip, but taking a bus up there alone, like to Albany or down to DC, and like that was cool. But then I told myself, why don't I travel by myself and see what that would be like? I don't know, I'm always testing myself to see where I'm at in my self-discovery, self-love process. And I believe the first place I ever went completely alone might have been Miami, which is probably a super weird place to go to alone because people are partying, people are doing wild things. There's couples out there, there's singles out there trying to meet people. And for me, I actually didn't stay directly on South Beach. I think I was south of South Beach, where it's a little more quiet, not as many people. And so staying over there, I was able to kind of escape that feeling of missing out on something. Although I did go to Ocean Drive just to kind of get it out of my system, like, okay, can I walk down Ocean Drive alone and feel secure in myself? Feel like, okay, all of these girls are out here with their friends, enjoying themselves, having a hot girl summer together, but I'm here alone. Did I feel alone? No, I felt so connected to myself. And I actually walked down there to get to a restaurant on Ocean Drive, but it's super busy, a lot of people. And I was able to prove to myself, like, okay, like I'm truly loving on myself and this is amazing. So yeah, I have like a minute left of recording time on my camera, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or any suggestions on what else I should share, let me know. Peace and blessings.